Hello and welcome to this week's Mystic Message. This week's message really speaks to this phase that we are in collectively as humanity and how to navigate it. And stick through to the end because I'm going to help you and guide you to how to feel into this for yourself. You don't need to be a psychic medium or an energy worker or, have any sort of background in this type of stuff to do this type of thing. So collectively, and you're probably feeling this, collectively we are in this space of transition. And you're probably thinking, well, duh. We're kind of in between the old and the new, right? From our own personal life experience and transformation and evolution as a soul and as a human being, but also collectively, the planet, Mother Gaia, our collective reality, right? We're kind of in between this old reality and this newer reality, right? So our personal experience is always this kind of the micro of the macro, right? This mini version of what's happening collectively. And that is what's happening. Is what you're experiencing for yourself is this mirror for this kind of collective transition experience. And we've talked a lot about this. It's not very new, but I am going to share this really key component that will help everyone. Because the reason that we're struggling in this transition space is different for everyone, right? We talk about letting go of the old. We talk about, making space for the new. And so we speak a lot around shadow work and inner child work and energy work and the root chakra and the matrix systems, right? And the ways that manifests in our programming, right? The healing side of it. And that is relevant. However, we're going to speak to it from a different angle today. This is the message that you're being asked to hear. And if you're listening to it, this is for you. So think of this transition, this in between. It can, whatever metaphor feels good for you. It could feel like being the caterpillar inside the cocoon, right? You're not the caterpillar anymore, but you haven't quite burst out of the cocoon into the butterfly, right? You might feel like you're in that, like waiting. I'm waiting to blossom. I'm waiting to figure my life out or figure myself out or to feel like I've gotten through this thing and I'm ready for the next, right? You could feel like that. You could feel floaty because that's the other kind of metaphor that comes in where you're not quite grounded in the old, right? You've done the deeper work, the shadow work, the child work, the karmic work and programming and all that healing deep stuff. And you're no longer anchored to the old, but you're also not quite anchored to the new. So you feel floaty, you feel ungrounded, you feel disconnected and unanchored, and you're craving some level of stability and groundedness. So you're feeling this kind of floaty feeling. That could be one sensation that might resonate with you. And then the last kind of metaphor, so hopefully one of these resonates for you and is like, yes, that is what I'm feeling. And sometimes validation is the most powerful thing that we can receive sometimes. It's almost like, imagine this bridge, right? Like those like bridge across a cliff that are terrifying, and they're like these wooden planks and rope, and on one side of this cliff is the old, and on the other side is the new, but it's foggy. You can't really see the other side of the bridge. You know that this bridge is going to bring you to the new. You know that when you step foot on this bridge, you're letting go of the old, you're getting ready for the new, but it's scary, and each step takes courage and faith and trust, because is the bridge gonna fall? What's on the other side? I can't see it. There's too much fog there. There's not full clarity. I know what I want to be over there, and I know in maybe an intangible, energetic way what's over there, right? Freedom, equality, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't actually know what's over there, and we naturally fear the unknown. So we are on this bridge where we've let go, we've taken that initial step, but we're traversing it. And to be in this in-between, to be on this bridge, again, it requires this level of faith and trust. And We haven't been taught those things. And when I say faith, I'm not speaking to any one specific religion. I'm not necessarily speaking to religion at all. I'm speaking to whatever your belief systems are. It could be a religion, it could be God, it could be gods, it could be the universe, source, whatever your type of faith is. This in-between experience demands and requires faith. And faith is a divine feminine energy. We have been programmed to disregard the divine feminine energy. Our old, right? This cliff you just stepped off from and onto this bridge from was built in the divine masculine. The divine masculine was how we operated here. And we're doing the healing. We've collectively been doing so much healing around the divine feminine, the dark divine feminine, the light divine feminine, and integrating it. And this shift is the on the other side of this bridge. It is not a reality that is built in the divine feminine's essence or image. It is a reality that is balanced. It is balanced within the divine masculine and the divine feminine. However, it requires this divine feminine energy to get us there because we've been operating in the divine masculine for so long. We're proficient there. We're used to it. That's natural. But to get to the other side, we need that leap of faith. We need the trust, the patience, and to just keep going based on that. I don't know what's over there. It's okay, right? And so that's the feeling that we're in, right? What do we do about it, right? So that's always the question. Of course, again, there's the deeper shadow work, and I don't want to disregard that. So whatever you've got going on there, face it, because it's going to show up either way. It's going to show up on this bridge if you haven't already faced it. But the guide and the anchor, right? So if you resonate with feeling floaty or disconnected or not anchored, the thing that's going to be the anchor or the guide, right? That the hand reaching out of the fog that's saying, come here, safety's here, on this bridge, is authenticity. It is, I get chills. It is who you authentically are. It is your truth. It is what resonates with you. It is your inner universe, your inner world. That is the guide and the anchor. And you may not be able to see what's on the other side of the bridge. You may not know what color butterfly you're going to come out as. You may not know what you're going to anchor back into once you land back in this new reality. But you know what feels right. This brings us back to this divine feminine energy, feeling. Right? And that may feel foreign to you if you haven't done as much of the deeper work around the shift from the divine masculine energy to the divine feminine, right? The divine masculine, it's the analytical, it's the doing, it's the hustle, the grind, work harder, work, do. The divine feminine is being and trusting and intuition and feeling. And so your guide is feeling. Your guide is the divine feminine. Your guide is authenticity. Your guide is your heart space. And it always sounds cheesy to follow your heart. And let's take this into some sort of practice. I talk about the heart space all the time. So if you're in my private group or you connect with me often, you've heard this a million times. The heart space doesn't lie. It is the most authentic center of all of our chakras and energy centers, if you view it that way. It is the portal to your higher self and to your soul. It is the epitome of authenticity in your heart space. Lower vibrational frequencies cannot manipulate you, cannot trick you, cannot fuck with you, cannot attach to you through your heart space. It is too pure. It is too high vibrational. It is too much in alignment with unconditional love, which if you're someone who views this kind of new reality on this other side of this bridge as, Christ consciousness, that is because it's associated with this heart energy. It is authenticity. It is bullshit free. Your heart space is your bullshit detector. It is what is true to you. We're so programmed to not really know what is authentic to us. We wear these masks that we've been taught to put on from childhood. We are programmed to be a certain way. We peel all that back and then go into the heart to see who we are. So this is what you want to do. So let's do a quick little exercise. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take some nice deep breaths. Inhale. And on your exhale, invite your heart space to open. And you may feel it, you may see it. It does not matter your way of perceiving. Your heart space, this beautiful energy center, it may be perceived as orange. It may be perceived as green, disregard. It may be perceived as green, maybe aqua, maybe pink. The higher heart tends to be the pinker or the aqua color. And so some people are more tapped into the higher heart because they've been doing these heart opening activations for a long time. So if those colors pop up, that would be very relevant. So with each exhale, invite your heart space to open, inviting these colors to get brighter, inviting this chakra, this energy center to expand bigger and bigger and bigger, all the way to your shoulders. And not just on your chest, but on your back, inviting the back side of your heart space to open and expand. And then I want you to ask in your mind, out loud, it does not matter, what does it feel to have something resonate, or to feel authentic, or to feel like your truth? What does my truth feel like? What does authenticity feel like? What does resonating feel like? And notice what happens. Do it a few times. Do it after this video is done if you need to. Feel into your body what it feels like when something feels authentic. Oftentimes, you will notice your heart space getting bigger, bigger, bigger. You may notice it even in your posture where your shoulders go back because your heart is opening. Versus, what does it feel like for something to not resonate? What does it feel like when something lower vibrational is around or connecting? And you're going to notice the opposite. You're going to notice like a retraction or a contraction, this closing. And again, you might notice it in your posture. Resonating, heart open, shoulders back, chest open. Not resonating, that crouched, rounded back posture, because you're closing your heart. That is your heart closing, saying, we don't like that. It doesn't feel good. Really start noticing your posture changes, the way your chest feels and your heart feels when you're going through life and should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I go here? Should I connect with this person? Does this feel right? Notice those patterns, because that is your guide. It's no longer this tangible, logical, should or shouldn't based on a list of pros and cons. It is based in authenticity. And that is your guide that gets you through this transition period. That is how you know what is a step forward and what's maybe a step backwards, is this authenticity. And it's directly connected to your heart space. So really feel into that. Keep doing these exercises. Let your heart space be the guide. And that is how you get from the old to the new. Because you personally may get there before collective reality gets there, right? Collective reality is happening, but the more of us individuals that blossom out of the cocoon as the butterfly, that anchor into the new reality or the new matrix, that make it across this bridge to the new reality, the more of us end up there, the quicker the collective reality shifts, because the collective reality is based on the culmination of our individual realities. So the more of us that get there, so chances are you're going to get there first personally in your own personal internal reality and personal kind of self in your life before, the reality, the politics, the systems begin to fully shift. But that needs to happen. We need those people that are going to, take one for the team. If you're here and you're watching this, you probably are one of those people that are here to be the anchor for this new reality, to get over to that bridge, to the other side of the bridge first, to help anchor that in. That is, so many of us are here incarnated right now to be that, to be the anchors of the new, to help this shift. So let your heart guide you, follow your authentic desires, and that's all you really need. All right. Mwah. Bye.